here. Welcome to the Single Moms Brunch Podcast. Yes, we are going to chat it up, ladies. Yes, we are. Where we have conversations about mindset, opportunities, money, and definitely success. Go grab your mimosa, your egg benedict, or maybe even your eggo wash and join the conversation. Hey there, moms! Lequita Brooks here. So today we're talking about from sucks to success. And I know you're like, oh my God, Lequita, that is kind of harsh. Well, maybe you don't completely suck, but you know what, mom? Sometimes you feel like you're a failure. Sometimes you're feeling guilt. I've read so much and talked to so many women at this point who are having single working mom guilt. And it is a real thing. So guess what? You don't suck. But we're going to talk about how do you go from sucks to success today on the Single Moms Brunch Podcast. Listen, moms, life happens, mom. It happens. So whether you are a single working mom because of an unplanned pregnancy, divorce, or you are a widow, make the best of being a mom that is single in this season. It doesn't mean that you're going to always be single. It doesn't mean that, anything is wrong with it. It just simply means make the best of it. And I'm not saying that that's your ultimate goal in life because, you might want to get married. You might decide to have companionship, whatever it is you desire, that is okay. But in this moment today, while you are a single working mom, make the best of it. And I'll have to say now, one of the things I personally love about being a single working mom is that I can make decisions without consulting with someone else. Period. Like, I actually love that. And don't forget, for this month, this is our last episode in this particular month for February, but it is fall in love with your lifestyle. That has been our theme for the whole month of February. So if you have not caught the other episodes, make sure you go back and listen to them because this is the last one for our theme for this month, which is fall in love with your lifestyle, whatever your lifestyle is and what you want that to really be. And before I forget, make sure you get your free gift, mom, at www.singlemomsbrunch.com. Once again, that is singlemomsbrunch.com. Go get your free gift now, like ASAP. Okay. All right. So listen to this, mom. Tell me I want you to answer this question for me. How do you define success? And I need you to be very descriptive, very vivid. Like right now, I would say, oh my gosh, in Florida, the sun is shining bright. I feel the warm temperatures of the birds are flying. It's so relaxing. I love the breeze from the beach. Like when you define what success is for you, I want you to be descriptive. I will say that in 2008, which is roughly 13 years ago, what I viewed as being success in relation to just being a mom, but you can define it in any way that you like. But for me, my whole world revolved around two things. One was simply being able to be the homeroom mom, which meant that I had to have a career that offered me freedom and flexibility. And number two was being able to provide financially and for us to have some, disposable income to do some really cool stuff, like for my daughter to take dance or for us to take trips. So I wanted to expose her. So I need to have finances. And also I wanted to be the homeroom mom. So for me, that's what success meant. Like in 2008, I would say now in 2021, success is a little bit different of what it really looks like. And that looks like, being a full-time business owner, which I've accomplished that, but also working towards having a location independent business. So it doesn't matter where I live in the world, and also some other things. So for you, mom, think about how do you define success? And I will say that success is something that is ongoing. So yes, for me, I've reached a certain level of success. I feel confident in where I'm at. I feel good about what season I'm in life, but it doesn't mean that I'm not working towards something that's even greater, even bigger, to have an even greater impact on my daughter's life and even just society as a whole. So just because you reach one level of success, it doesn't mean that we're not working towards others. So just keep that in mind. So I know at this moment, you might not actually feel like you're where you want to be, but just know that you have reached success in some way. And even if it's as simple as you decided to keep your child, like that in itself is something to be proud of because you had a choice. You had a choice to where you could decide to raise your children or a child, or you could have decided to, allow someone else to adopt them and raise them. So just in the fact of you having your child right now, mom, that in itself is something to pat yourself on the back about. Like that is something to give yourself kudos for. Some might say, well, that's your job. Yeah, it is our job, but there are some moms who opt not to do it. So even if you cannot define success at the bare minimum, kudos to you for raising your child. So, and as I said, for me, success back then simply means time freedom and being a homeroom mom. So, and having finances. So think about it, mom. How do you define success? And make sure you're very descriptive about what that is for you. Now, after you've defined what success means to you, and remember, it's levels to having success. So right now you could be at one level working towards level 2, then level 3, and then maybe you're trying to get all the way to 100. But either way, it's levels to success. All right, so how do you perceive your ability to achieve success? Yes, perception is everything. It starts in your mind. So how you view yourself, how you view your ability, how you view your current circumstance dictates the level of success that you'll be able to reach. So with where you're at right now, so you've already thought about where you're currently at, what levels of success have you reached so far? And then what will be that very next step? And I don't even mean step. I mean like that very next baby latching. And you're like, what? Who says baby latching? I say baby latching because as you know, with a baby, that's one of the first things that they do is that they know how to, latch so then they can eat. So they're not even at the point of rolling over or crawling or walking, like literally. I'm saying take it in extremely small increments. So what will be that next thing in the baby latch? Just like a baby will latch, what will be your next extremely small thing for you to do to reach success? And your perception on you being able to do it. So like an example, so like with my daughter's grades. So I have a 15-year-old. She'll actually be 16 next month, which is absolutely ludicrous. We were talking about grades, and beforehand, we just kind of talked about her making A's and B's, and that was kind of like the bar. But I was like, you know what? I realized that at this point, because the bar has been set at simply A's and B's, it's like, oh, I made A's and B's. Awesome. But it's like, no, I have to raise the expectation. So then her perception can change and say, you know what, I can make straight A's. So let's change that thought process. Let's change that mindset to say, we're aiming for straight A's. Now, if you don't make straight A's, I'm not going to be upset by no means, but I had to adjust her lens for her to even think about, why don't I aim for straight A's? And if I end up getting some B's, it's okay. But you know what? Because I know that she has the ability to make straight A's, but because that hasn't been the expectation, that hasn't been her push. So for you, what is your perception of your ability to achieve success? And don't tell me, mom, do not tell me you have not achieved any success, because I know you have. And guess what, mom? And it's okay if in this season you're like, I am so mentally exhausted. I am so drained. I feel guilt. I feel like a failure. Like I have all these mental things going on and I can't even think about how I perceive my ability to achieve success. Ask other people around you now, not the judgy people, not those people, but ask other people around you, like, what is it that they believe you do great? And from that would help you boost your own morale and see like, hey, you can and you have the ability to achieve success. So how do you perceive yourself? And if you can't perceive yourself in a positive way, ask somebody that knows you really well and let them give you some things that you can, be very grateful for and be able to see like how you are a rock star in your own space. Now, what challenges have you experienced with achieving success? In life, you're going to experience challenges. Like it happens. Do we want challenges? Really, we don't really want challenges by no means ever. But as you know, Mom, challenges happen. Like I would say 95% of single working moms did not plan to be a single working mom. I mean, like there's that probably very small few, but in general, the majority of single working moms did not, and I repeat, did not, which is 95%, did not plan to be a single working mom. And that in itself could be a challenge. It's a challenge of, getting over like, hey, I'm in disbelief. I can't believe I'm now a single working mom. Maybe the challenge is you have a narcissistic co-parent. I've had quite a few women say to me, I'm parenting with a narcissist and I just can't take it anymore. Okay. Like it's a lot. Some moms have said, hey, I don't have the support because I just don't know who to connect with. I'm the only one in my city. Or even just as I talked about earlier, feeling like a failure. So what are some of those challenges that you are personally experiencing? Because in order for you to truly achieve success, and once again, it's levels to success. So whatever that next baby latching step is, whatever that is, which is very incremental, very, very, very small, what challenges have you experienced to get to that next spot? I'm not saying to your 100th spot. I'm not saying to your completely ideal life. I'm just saying to that next stop, that next step on your way to fulfill whatever your ultimate wildest dreams are that you haven't said to anyone at all. So those could be a few of the challenges that you're having. Yours might be different. So hey, take some time, really think about it. And as we're going through these different podcasts, the whole goal of the podcast is to really get you to think about things that you might not have thought of and actually work through the questions and the exercises to get to where you need to get to. So what challenges, Mom, have you experienced with achieving success? Now, as you always know, it's about if we have a challenge, we have to figure out how you're going to overcome it. So what can you do to overcome the challenges that are hindering you from achieving success? So an example, so a lot of women have said, hey, I have a narcissistic co-parent. So I would say, really like do a thorough examination. And I know you don't have time, but guess what? Make time, Mom. Make the time, Mom. You have to make the time. So learn more about a narcissistic personality. Learn what are some ways to effectively communicate with your narcissistic co-parent. What are some triggers or things not to do in communicating with them? Should you have to do this? No, Mom, you should not have to. But if you want your life to be better and you want to be I guess, have more peace when it comes to that whole relationship dynamic with someone that has a narcissistic personality, you will do what you need to do. And to me, the best way to manage working with someone with a narcissistic personality is to learn more about what it looks like, what are the best ways to communicate, and then from that, communicate with them in that way. So then maybe you can have a better result or a better outcome from your co-parenting relationship. When it comes to a lack of support, really, really defining like what does that lack of support really look like? Is it you need a person to assist with something? Is it that you need money? Is it that you need to improve your skills in order for additional income generating opportunities? So like, what type of support do you truly need? What support will help you overcome the challenge that you're having? And also, so then you can reach success. So think about that. What is truly the lack of support? Resources, and then also just feeling like a failure. Like, I'm here to tell you, mom, you may feel like a failure. You may feel guilty. You may feel like you wish that your child had both parents in the household. And I think that that's probably, and you know what? And it's okay for you to feel that way. It is totally okay. But in the process of you desiring that, also look at it like, you know what? I'm in a good spot. I have accomplished X, Y, and Z. I'm rocking it as a working single mom. I am making things happen. I am here for my child. So, in the midst of you feeling that guilt, make sure you always go back to like, what are those things that you're really doing well as a parent? And you know, and as a parent, you're never going to be perfect. So, if your goal is perfection, that'll never happen because as parents, you can only do the best that you know how to do in that particular moment. Because you know what, as they say, it's cliche, but hindsight is 2020. And in that second, we do what we know is best. And you're doing what you know is best. So don't feel like a failure, mom. You are rocking it. And guess what? You are absolutely fabulous. So, what can you do to overcome the challenges that are hindering you from achieving success? And you always know if you have a challenge, you have to come up with solutions and you have to commit to a date and time that you're going to do it. So, what date and time are you going to implement the steps required to work towards achieving success? When are you going to do it? And you need to set a date and time, like literally, whether you use your cell phone calendar or you actually use like a regular planner. I have both that I use, but either one, whatever one it is, commit to it. Say, hey, after you work through all the questions, look at your calendar and say, this is when I'm actually going to implement this, and this is when I'm going to do it. So you can hold yourself accountable. Okay. So make sure you do that because that's the secret sauce, as some would say. You define what success is. Always remember that there's different levels to success because you might have reached a certain level of success now, but there are other things you want to accomplish. So you're working towards those. In the mix of looking, in the mix of pursuing in the mix of pursuing success, you're going to encounter challenges. And with every challenge, as I always say, every problem has a solution. It might not be the ideal solution that you want, but every problem, aka challenge, has a solution. And then commit to actually making it happen. And mom, listen carefully to me. Listen, listen, listen carefully. You will never achieve success if you cannot define it. Like, you have to actually be able to say what success looks like to you. Okay, like that is a necessary. That's like necessary. So even if you haven't had the time to do it now, make sure you take some time to define it because mom, you will never achieve success if you cannot define it. And once again, with success is levels to achieving success. So whatever ultimate level that you want to achieve, that ultimate goal, that ultimate desire, the one that you have not told anybody, that one, you will never achieve that level of success if you cannot define it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Lequita Brooks. Thanks, Mom, for joining me today at the Single Moms Brunch Podcast. Yes. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell all the other moms that you know about it. And you know what, Mom? I can't let you go without giving you a free gift. So make sure you go to www.singlemomsbrunch.com. Once again, that is singlemomsbrunch.com to get your free gift. I am Lequita Brooks. And remember, you are not a single mom. You are a mom that is single.